Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel, where I'm breaking down all of the college bowl games of this college bowl season. All 35 bowl games will be previewed right here, so be sure to subscribe to my page to get all of my daily sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox. The next bowl up is the Bridgeport Education Holiday Bowl. The Holiday Bowl, one of the more traditional non-New Year's Day bowls we have, and this year it'll pit Baylor versus UCLA. Baylor out of the Big 12 comes in with a record of 7-5, and UCLA out of the Pac-12 comes in with a record of 9-4. UCLA with that 9-4 mark, one more game than Baylor because they played in the Pac-12 championship game versus Stanford. So UCLA comes into this game having been passed over for the Alamo Bowl. Oregon State, was slotted above them because they had beaten UCLA earlier in the season. I don't think you'll hear UCLA, their players, their coaches, or their fans complaining about the fact that instead of playing in Texas, they'll now play in San Diego in the Holiday Bowl here, where they'll be able to get a lot of their home fans to the game. I think that'll be a little bit of an advantage. This game normally draws a decent amount of fans anyway. UCLA as a whole has lost 2 games to Stanford. Okay, the last 2 games of the season, actually for them, they lost the last game of the regular season and then the Pac-12 championship game to Stanford. They also lost earlier in the year to Cal, which sort of looks like an aberration game right now based on where those 2 teams ended up at the end of the year. And they did lose again earlier in the year to Oregon State. So UCLA is definitely taking a step forward as a program this year. They're led by their running back, Jonathan Franklin, finished second in the Doak Walker race behind Monte Ball of Wisconsin. Franklin comes in, and he should be able to have a field day against this Baylor defense, which puts up a lot of yards, but also lets up a lot of yards. And UCLA also has a young freshman dual-threat quarterback that's had an excellent season. And again, can hurt you with his legs, can hurt you with his arm, and I think that's going to be a problem for the Baylor defense. UCLA puts up 475 yards of offense themselves, so they're by no means a slouch team in this respect. UCLA still has a lot to play for. Jim Mora seems like he's there for the long haul. That he's trying to build something in Southern California. I mean, he comes in, he has a good recruiting class. He beats USC this year, almost wins the Pac-12 championship. Let's face it, that 52-yard field goal, it was sloppy conditions in the Pac-12 championship game. If that goes through and that game goes to overtime, who knows, UCLA could be in the Rose Bowl. So this is a team that was very close to being in the Rose Bowl. I don't think you can undervalue that. I think that, but they will come out motivated because they're trying to take over Southern California. It's been a while since USC was sort of unseeded as the best team in California. You have USC coming off a down year, their star quarterback graduating, so I think Jim Mora knows this bowl game is important to gain some momentum going into the offseason. So I look for UCLA to come out highly motivated. One other factor in this game I think will be a big deal, because in order for UCLA to win, I think they only have to get 3, maybe 4 stops on this Baylor offense. And I think the big difference for UCLA as compared to the other teams Baylor has played is UCLA has a pass rush. They have a presence of being able to get pressure on the quarterback, and I think more so than a lot of teams Baylor has played. So I think that's going to be a big factor as we head down here in the third, fourth quarter of the Holiday Bowl. Baylor comes in with a record of 7-5. Obviously, their best win of the year was a win against Kansas State. Kansas State's still Kansas State's only loss of the season. They also ended the season with wins against Texas Tech and Oklahoma State. So they're coming in surging into this game, if you will. They're led by Nick Florence, their senior quarterback. Look, this kid comes in, senior quarterback, having to take the place of Robert Griffin III. And all he did was come in and lead Baylor to the, as far as yardage goes, the top offense in college football. So they average about 575 yards of offense per game. Art Briles, again, doing a wonderful job down in Waco. They're led on the ground by Latch Seastrunk, who actually came out a couple weeks ago and said that he was going to win the Heisman next year. So, Mr. Seastrunk, you put some expectations on yourself for this game. I think Baylor will be able to move the ball on UCLA. I don't foresee that being a problem. Why? Because Baylor's moved the ball on every team they've played this year. Where I worry about Baylor is the defensive side of the ball, because their defense is as bad as their offense is good, in my opinion. And I think UCLA has a formidable running attack and passing attack. A lot of the teams they've played in the Big 12, I don't think has been as dual threat as UCLA has been. So I think that's going to be a problem for the Baylor defense. I don't know if Baylor can stop UCLA 3 to 4 times throughout the game in order to give their offense some breathing room in this game. While I think UCLA will be able to stop Baylor, 3 or 4 times, and that's probably all they're going to need to win this game. The over/under in this game is 75, to give you an idea of the amount of points we're expecting in this type of matchup. So I like UCLA, -3 in the Holiday Bowl against Baylor. And I like them because of the pass rushing attack. I like them because of Jonathan Franklin and his ability to keep that Baylor offense off the field a little bit more than maybe the other teams that Baylor has played this season. And again, I really think UCLA knows they need this win. They'll have a lot of their fans there at the Holiday Bowl. Sometimes that makes a difference in bowl games. Sometimes it doesn't. But I look for it to be a positive for UCLA. I look for UCLA -3 to win the Holiday Bowl. This is going to be a great game. So as far as excitement goes, it's 9:45, somewhere on the ESPN family of networks, I'm sure. And look, it's going to be a dandy. The Holiday Bowl usually is. It's one of those ones where I make sure it's usually on at night during the week here between Christmas and New Year's, and I like to make sure I'm watching it because it's usually a dandy. So be sure to check this game out. I look for a high-scoring game that UCLA wins by 7 to 10 points late. So I like UCLA -3. Be sure to check out my other previews here and subscribe to my page. You get all my videos delivered directly to your inbox. Have a good day, guys.